Hi. I just said a joke before we started.
She threatened to fight me.
We're not starting like this. No.
You started like this.
I didn't say. What did I say? Don't
you said you
even
would fight
do it.
everybody in this room, me included.
No, don't make it seem like that. Hi, guys. We're starting off great.
Hi. Welcome back to the Surviving Your 20s podcast.
Yes, where our goal is to teach you how to survive and thrive and live your best life in your 20s and beyond. My name is Shar.
I'm Makeda.
And we happy you in a building, okay?
Thanks to see you guys.
Okay.
Happy Friday. We're recording on Friday. You guys might be watching this on like a Thursday though. Or whenever you're watching this, happy whatever day of the week it is.
Yes.
Hope your day is going great.
Okay. Do you have anything exciting that happened this week for you?
Let me think. Exciting.
What gave you that dopamine hit this week, friend? It was a dry week for Makeda.
Yeah, I think this week was pretty dry.
Same here.
Dry for you?
Very dry. I think the highlight of my week is seeing you and recording this podcast because I have very minimum human interaction these days. Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry, honey. Still need the silk press. It was a good week for me. I'm lying.
Yes. What was the highlight of your week?
Wait. Anything interesting happened for you this week?
I mean, I was out of the school building today.
Okay.
I had a little professional development thing to go to. It was a little boring, but
it's necessary.
It's necessary, sure. I learned some things.
What did you learn?
I learned like some strategies to help me teach my students where English is not their first language. We call them L's. In the school setting, they're called L's. So like my kids who come from like, Guatemala, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Turkey, whatever. Like So I've learned some skills. Well, I learned about some skills that I can apply, some strategies.
Hopefully you apply them.
I'm gonna try to apply them.
You're a great teacher. You will.
Thank you, friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that for you. Getting out the building. So no headache today.
No, I haven't had a headache all week though. But the highlight was like eating some real good food for lunch.
Yes, ma'am.
I had some Asian food.
Okay.
I love me some dumplings. So I think that was like...
Can't wait to go out with you. We're going to yam a lot.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, like Makeda loves food and I love food and our food time is very special.
Yeah.
We have to sit in silence, either watching a show for me and just like namming my food and nobody talk to me. Like, this is my time. It's a very serious thing.
Yeah.
Like, I have to stop eating if I'm interrupted sometimes.
Exactly.
Because it's like I want to process what's going on my tongue. Yeah. I paid for it.
You can't savor the food the same way.
Okay. Let us know if we're bugging. Like,
comment down below.
Yeah.
Leave a comment. Do you like to have conversations while you eat your food? I hate that. Don't talk to me.
If you see me eating,
shut your yap.
Shut your yap, please.
Shut your yap.
And keep it pushing.
Let me eat this food.
Right.
We will talk later.
You know what's crazy? I think like even as a child growing up, it was like eat your food, don't talk, finish
for real.
What's on your plate. And I had a problem finishing on my plate. I know y'all looking at me like, girl, you thick now. Yeah, thank God. You know what I'm saying? I got a little thick. But before, my father used to be like, you're not getting up until your food is. And I used to be like, Donovan, please eat some of my food.
Help me or wait for me.
Okay.
Me and my brother used to be like that. Like, don't leave the. My mom didn't eat with us. It was weird.
It's weird.
We used to eat at the table and she would go in her room.
What is that about?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But we had to eat all the food and we wasn't allowed to talk. Okay. Like if my mom would be in her room and she could hear us talking too much, she'd be like, stop all that talking. Eat your food. Yes. So we would have to eat the food, clear the plate, be quiet. And I would be like, Azam, wait for me. Don't leave me.
My brother used to be bodying his. I'm like, he take a piece of my everything. He's like, nah, sure, I'm full. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be. Sometimes my mother used to have to come home and relieve me. She like, Fancy, you're still at the table. I'm like,
my God,
it was a mess.
But it's like, what they really expect for you to do,
right?
My mom will she'll let us like put it to the side. We'll be like, we'll eat it later, but you had to come back and eat it later. Like, you couldn't waste that food.
That's bad. I think that's a scarcity mindset. I think that's also, long story short, that is why we need our quiet time while we eat. It's a moment that we just, it's no pressure from the childhood. It's just a moment for us. So if you can relate, let us know. If you can't, pray for us, because maybe, I don't know if that's a preference or trauma. Either way, just leave me alone.
And
like,
if you are someone who can't relate, maybe you are that annoying person who's bothering someone who's trying to eat. Boom. Like, if you, not saying, look, it's not black and white, all right? There's in between. But you got to think about that. If you are a person who's like, oh, I don't mind, think about it. Are you talking to people while they trying to eat? They probably trying to get rid of you. They probably sick of you. Okay. Let people eat in peace.
Are you processing their body language? Like,
read the room.
Can you not read the room? Like, I can tell if somebody's annoyed. I'll be like, all right, have a good day.
Like, I'm gonna let you eat.
Yeah. All right, I see you doing something. And I'll even say it like, listen, I know how it be. And I'm out. Some people keep yapping and yapping.
Don't pick up
Shut
on the
your
cues.
Trap and let me eat my food.
You could and they will never catch on.
Girl,
never
see,
catch on.
We could do a whole episode on this, because clearly it's a problem. But speaking of eating, this week was great for me. Although I was sick at the top of the week, mad randomly. You remember? I was what is happening? I don't know if it's the weather change. You stop telling people I have COVID. I heard you. You're not slick.
Girl, you be having something.
No, it's either allergies or I think I'm in the house too much. I don't know what it is. Like, I need to be outside. But it's not COVID. Okay. But on Tuesday, it was my 2-year anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
Aww. I've been married for 2 years. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
That's another episode. How's the married life?
Yes. I went outside.
Okay, where'd you go?
I went to the movies. You know, we had to keep it cute because I'm still in the boot. Yeah. Hey, you know, I'm rhyming because I got the loot. I'm just kidding. But it was good because we went to the movies. We kind of missed the first part of John Wick, because I saw 1, 2, 3, and 4, but we missed the first part because the woman sent us in the wrong theater. So then when I was leaving, they gave us like 2 free movie tickets.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna be outside again. Then we went out to get food. Then we got dessert. Okay. It was a nice day.
A nice day.
And a nice
anniversary
night.
date. Okay. A nice night. Okay. Okay, Miss Girl.
I'm awkward with that stuff.
Okay.
But it was a great time.
You brought it up. You like, at a nice night.
It was I don't want people to think that you know, it's a nice day and a night and a great and a
correction, a great night.
And I'm stuttering. Let's move on. But long story short, I made it. We made it. God is good.
All the time.
And marriage is it works. It can work, and as long as you put the work in, things can improve.
So this is the perfect segue for our topic in 20s Gone Wild.
Yes.
So you just celebrated your 2-year wedding anniversary, and it's interesting because we be on the blogs looking for our 20s Gone Wild topic.
Yes, ma'am.
And we found one, stumbled upon a throuple in Long Island who, well, it originally started as a couple, man and a woman married. And the woman says that her and her husband, they had some issues. He wasn't faithful in the past. So what she did, she had the bright idea of finding a lookalike. So a woman who looks like her.
Yes.
To come and be part of their relationship. So they went from couple to throuple.
Oh, man.
And the whole point of it was to address his past infidelities and I guess to help him stay faithful. So I guess the idea is you don't got to cheat if we are a 3-way couple. You got 2 women.
You could have
right
this
here,
one and then have the
and she looks just like me. So
don't you find that a little weird though? Not just, I mean, the part where it's like she has to look like you. What is that about? She's not you. Why does she have to look like you? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't get the thought process behind that. Mm-hmm. And if anything, isn't that like counterproductive?
Right.
Because
he said don't kink shame.
I'm just trying to understand the lookalike part, because if he was cheating in the past, it's like he was looking for something different, right?
Yeah.
So
why y'all look alike?
Why would you get a lookalike? I mean, if you're gonna go the 3-way couple route, you better you salt, she spice. Like,
I think the issue here for me is the fact that he had infidelity and she felt as if it was her job to help him get over his infidelity. Like, no, ma'am, that is not your job. And I find that a lot of people in their 20s stay in relationships, stay in situations, stay in places where they're not supposed to be because they feel like it's their job to change people and help them get over every single hurdle in life.
Make it work.
Yes.
Like, you stay somewhere for too long because you are like so committed to making it work. And it's like, it wasn't meant to be all this.
Okay.
It was not meant to be all this. And you're not supposed to be making this work. You're supposed to be moving on. And
then you compromise your values. So say she was a person that wanted to be with one man. She wants one man. But now she's like, hey, I'm gonna compromise because this person can't stay faithful.
Yeah.
So now you're here doing something that you really don't want to do, and then if this relationship does not work out, you somehow feel resentment
because you did all this stuff
and it's still
you was going out of your way. Like, imagine that. Imagine bringing in like a girlfriend in your marriage and it still don't work. Like, imagine he still go outside and cheat.
Out of that, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
What more do you want?
And what are we actually doing? Like, even as men, like, I can't speak for y'all. I always said, and that's just me, like, I can't take that. I'm too emotional.
What, like
so I would never find it. I'm out of there. It's like you can't.
Wait, just cheating in general?
Yeah, because I'm too emotional for that. Like, I cry at the drop of a movie. Like, can you imagine my feelings getting hurt? I cry for Bird Passed and it's cute. And it, like, I can't. I wouldn't try to speak that into the future. But I'm just saying, like, previously when I was in my early 20s and situationships, I was like, I can't take this. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I'm out of here, and listen, I'm just not dealing with that, so, and I'm not compromising for the other person to feel more comfortable. If you cheated, you should be the one trying to rectify and make things right.
Like, why was you cheating, and work through that. I gotta find, well, who know? I don't even know. We don't know how they entered, if that was his idea, her idea, but you remember she quoted saying, she said, you gotta do whatever it takes to make it work.
Bad advice.
I think I'm all for making your marriage work, but I feel like you got to draw the line somewhere.
Come on, draw it, write it, permanent marker, use something like.
And it's like, imagine she came to him with the idea. She presented him with the lookalike, and he went. I'm sorry, I would bust him upside his head, like, because clearly you still got an urge in you.
You got the infidelity up in you.
Like, if you even decided, like, I like this. I mean, that's crazy.
I know.
Because I'm like, oh, so you still want somebody else. Like, you still can't be monogamous.
All right. And and that means he went into this relationship lying to himself. Because everybody's not going to do what we do. Everybody's not going to be monogamous. Right? But if you go into a relationship, sometimes people be lying. You know what I'm saying?
Some people do. But I think some people have a history and they really be trying to be different. I think some people are like that. Like, think about it. And say if you like going into a relationship young too. I think some people have a history of maybe like dating or messing with a bunch of people, and they really do have someone that they genuinely care about and love, and they want to focus on them. Like, I feel like the intention is there at first, but they just can't follow through. Some people don't have the discipline.
But and if that's the case, you should not be in a relationship. Yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt at the end of the day, and that's my thing. Like, you have to be mindful of people's feelings, and I'd rather somebody get up and walk away than to start cheating. Because people
be selfish though.
People and then after they cheat, they want you to be forgiving and like,
understanding, bro, and
I don't gotta do nothing.
Absolutely,
you really violated me. You could have brought home mad diseases. And come on, bro, you don't care about your life, and you more importantly do not care about mine. And at the end of the day, everybody's trying to preserve their life. You know what I mean? So
what you mean by that?
I'm like, if I'm in a relationship with you and you went out to cheat and you slept with somebody unprotected or whatever the case may be, and you brought me back something, it's like, no, I'm trying to preserve my life. So I care about myself. I'm out of there. That's not happening to me again.
Okay.
For the, like, I can't even take the risk.
Okay.
I heard many of stories of women being with their man, even in the marriage, and they bring him home X, Y, Z, and dog, cow, and roach, and whatever. Like, no, we have to be mindful of that. Yeah. And it's not your duty as a woman, to fix what a man can't fix himself. Go to therapy. I don't have
the woman or the man?
Both of them.
You know, actually, yeah, because I feel like as a man, you gotta work through your stuff. If you have the intention of being monogamous with your girlfriend, your wife, whoever, and you can't, you gotta work through that. And then as the woman, sometimes you gotta heal from that. Like, that is
insecure.
It's traumatizing to get cheated on. Like, it is. It's you gotta work traumatizing.
Through it. And nobody could tell you how long it's gonna take for you to get over that. Yeah. So you just rushing with a solution. It's like, girl, did you even process what was happening here?
Because a man is quick to be like, when you gonna get over it? Like, they can't be in the doghouse too long. Yeah, they can't. Like, they could take but so much of that.
Like, I'm sorry, it was just
did this, I did that, I did this. Like, when it, like, they can't take all that pressure.
Yeah, they really can't. But you know, everybody has their portion. I just think this speaks to 20s gone wild. Yeah. Because a lot of girls do it in their 20s.
Listen, if you're going to be in a throuple, if you're going to have the open relationship, the free pass relationship, just do it for you, though. Like, I ain't knocking what anybody's into. I just feel like if you're going to do it because you genuinely have some, you know.
We are monogamous people.
Listen, I'm not doing that.
We are promoting one way.
Look, I'm promoting do what your heart desires. Don't do it to save the relationship.
I'm promoting everybody stay abstinent and figure out what trauma they had in their childhood. Okay. That's what I'm promoting.
Okay.
Because if you go to the root of the issue, there's a root there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like sometimes we ignore the root issue. Last week we spoke about our addiction to porn. There's a root issue there that we had to like figure out for ourselves that goes even deeper than what we spoke about. You know what I'm saying? Being exposed early, possibly having some uncomfortable situations presented to us where we didn't have control. So you know what I mean? So I think there's always a root issue. So ask yourself, why am I doing this?
Do you think, like, are you saying there's a root as to why someone would want to be like in a multi-person relationship?
I think people need to ask themselves why they're doing it. I'm not saying it's the root. Ask yourself why. Okay. Like, is it because sometimes we just have this desire to do stuff? Does that mean it's good for you? Does that mean it's right for you?
You know, I think it's not as simple. I just feel like if you want to be in a multi-person relationship, maybe you just don't want to be in a relationship. Like, maybe you just should be dating.
Okay, and that could be it too. Like, maybe some people settle down. Yeah. But, all right, so I think this is a perfect segue to go into our main topic because I feel like what we're talking about, someone made a decision in their 1920s, early 20s, and they're now having a transformation moment.
Yeah.
And so we have to understand that just because we feel something at 20 or we feel something at 18, because at 18 and 20 we get these revelations like, I'm grown, but you're really not grown. One, because of the emotional intelligence and the frontal lobe is just not, we don't have the ability to reason properly. We're reasoning, but not at a level where it's like we're making a lot of great decisions. Yeah. So it might feel good, but then as we age, we realize, wait, this actually isn't it.
Gotta clean that up.
Yes. So I speak to the root issue sometimes, because it's like, what's actually happening here. So you can take that away to go into who we're talking about today.
Okay. So the main topic for today is going to be about reinventing yourself. And our focus person is going to be who we used to know as Blac Chyna. She is now going by her real name is Angela White, y'all.
Angela White.
Call that girl Angela. It
and
ain't
put some
Blac
respect
Chyna.
on her name.
Yes. So I gotta get used to the Angela thing. Like, she's been Blac Chyna
since we were like
over 10 years.
I know.
Yeah. Rack City was like what, 2012? Oh my god,
a teenager, right?
Yeah,
like 13, 14.
That was like high school.
Yeah,
10th, 11th grade. Yeah, okay. She's been Blac 14, Chyna 15. For like a good decade at least. So she's going by Angela White. She has gone through still going through, it seems like, a whole transformation. So, and I'm sure y'all seen some of it too. So she's documenting a lot of it on her Instagram. Angela has gotten the filler removed from her face.
Yes.
She's gotten the lips a little bit smaller, removed the filler out of her cheeks, out of her jaw. I think she went down on her breast implants. She went
down on the breast.
She got like the silicone taken out of her booty.
Yes.
I think she got baptized.
She did get baptized.
And I think she's also like been on like an apology spree, like apologizing to different women in the media who she's had issues with.
I think that was Alexis Sky too.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of them.
Yeah,
but both of them have been on a journey.
I think Blac Chyna apologized first, and then Alexis Sky probably saw that and did that, because I saw the comments. They was calling her a copycat. So I think Angela was apologizing first, and then Alexis was like, "Oh, good idea," and did the same thing.
Which is it?
Yeah,
people so bitter on the internet.
They was dragging her like, "You're such a copycat," and it's like, yeah, I'm mad because she's apologizing to people.
They love the drama.
They do.
They really be stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about her transformation? Because it goes into 20s, 30s, different time periods, and you feeling some way in your 20s and then feeling a different way in your 30s. So how do you feel specifically about the path that she's going down?
I love that for her. Okay. I really, really love that for her, because and I get it, because I think she started like dancing young at like 18, 19. So it makes sense. When you in the nightlife, you got to look a certain way. Yes. You always hear like past dancers and past strippers talking about like, oh, you don't get no money unless you got the giant booty and the
big boobs.
Yeah. So I guess for the life she was living at 19, 20, like, it makes sense that and then, the development is not there, the emotional intelligence.
You're easily influenced.
Yeah, you see one girl in the club getting all the attention, getting all this money. You like, oh, let me get the look. So I get why she made the decisions she made all those years ago, and honestly, I respect it, and I think that transformation was very much needed.
Okay,
because you got kids, girl. Yeah, they're getting older. I don't know if you've seen some of it, but I remember like months ago seeing something with her. She was in the airport. Okay. And she was bugging out. I
saw that.
And it was apparent that she was probably like on some type of drugs, on some type of substance. I don't know, but like it was clear that she was not in her right state of mind. So it's just like, and we always say this, like, these celebrity kids, these influencer children, their kids are going to grow up and see some of the craziness. Yeah. So, like, I'm glad she started making this little turnaround for the sake of like her own well-being and for her kids.
Yes, I have to agree with you. When I first saw it, I was like, this is great, because it's I was watching an interview that she did on the I think it was the I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think
it's
Tamron Hall. And I was like, wow, like she was talking about how she got her fillers removed, and she even looked brighter to me. Like she looked like
fresh,
like a changed person. Yeah. And I love that. And she also, I know the power of social media and how some of us, I would like to speak to the part where we see these influencers online and we try so hard to get the attention that they're getting, so we get the BBLs. Like there's been a wave of BBLs, and it's I'm not mad at anyone who has a BBL. Sometimes you just want to get the fat sucked out, mommy makeovers. I'm not mad at that stuff. But sometimes we follow these trends. We do injections in the wrong places. We don't have the money maybe, so we go through these tunnels and loops to do things because we see people making money that way. And then we find out that they're not even they wasn't even satisfied or happy. They were making decisions out of survival. And so sometimes we're like, dang, my butt is not super huge.
Yeah,
I'm mad. Whole time this influencer or whoever we're watching is just trying to survive, trying to make money the only way they know how. So to see her come to Jesus moment, which is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like God cleansed her, changed her. I believe that a lot of people who either went down her path or have similar stories are going to follow and see, like, God is good. He can transform your life if you allow him to. You're not going to be perfect, obviously. Like, you're still going to fall by the wayside like we all do. You're going to have temptation to go back to your old life because it's like she's still in the entertainment industry. But she says she stopped drinking.
Oh, she did? Okay. I didn't watch that whole thing.
Okay, you didn't watch the whole thing? So I'll tell you a little bit about what she said. She said she stopped drinking.
Okay.
She said she's been sober for like 7 months.
Oh, wow.
So it's like she said she was pulling away from like OnlyFans.
Okay.
In December.
Know she was on OnlyFans.
Yeah, me either. So I didn't even know that. I don't follow like a lot of these stuff closely. But she said she stopped doing OnlyFans. She stopped doing like I guess they do like promotions at clubs and strip clubs and stuff. Okay. So she stopped doing that and she's focusing on acting now. And I love that for her. Even Alexis Sky. I'm like, I'm always happy when people come to Jesus. Like at the end of the day, being out there in the world, you're influenced by so many things. You're doing stuff that you really don't even want to do. And as someone who has operated out of survival for a lot of my life, I can relate to it. Like, the only thing that saved me was really I got saved early. Okay. So I got saved at like 17. So it's like, okay. And I grew up in church a little bit. So it kind of was like, and my parents are Jamaican. I think I was a little scared to come home. Like,
yeah, we
Fancy, you got that big butt. Like I was, I know it would have been over for me, or to come home pregnant or anything like that. I was just like, yeah, not with these Jamaican parents. But beyond that, I feel like that could have been any of our stories if we want to be honest, and we can't look at ourselves as like better.
And it is for like someone. Even people we know, like now, like it's to the point where like everybody knows someone who has a BBL and who's doing these things, and no shade. Some of them look good. Y'all look good. But I remember there was a time when it was such a novelty. Like, yes, it was only something you saw on the internet, you see in the media. And now it's become so accessible and so like common that it's like, now your cousin got a BBL. Your homegirl's like, oh, I'm going on vacation, I'm getting a BBL. Like, it's just such an everyday thing now. It is. But do you notice how when like, and this is probably off topic, but when the girlies, like the industry girlies, stop getting like BBLs, they stop getting it because the regular people was getting them.
The regular people. So now we trying to live up to them. They like, oh, the regular girls getting BBLs. We don't want that no more. But that's just a sidebar.
But nah. I feel like it's on topic.
You think so? Okay, why?
The first person I heard of getting their stuff removed was K Michelle.
Yes.
And she was saying it was because of like health complications and things like that. And then the next person, I mean, they didn't come on the record and say this, but it was obvious that the Kardashians' butts got way smaller than what it used to be.
Their arms, everything got smaller.
Yeah, they got real small. So they never admitted to getting no surgery done, but like obviously,
yeah, they're removing something. The boobs got smaller too. Yeah.
So because even Angela said that she was going through like some health things too. Like, didn't she say something about like her booty was inflamed sometimes and it would feel hot?
Okay, see, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I see somewhere where she was saying that. Like,
she said
she was experiencing inflammation.
But so that goes to the point of when I was watching the Tamron Hall show, she said that sometimes they inject these things and you don't know what they're injecting in your
and she said it was loose silicone.
Okay.
And listen, y'all, if y'all know better than we do, correct us. Yeah. All right. We are not surgeons. We're not doctors. We don't have surgery. We don't know. So if we say something that's not correct, just come in the comments nicely with your correction. We are not speaking as if we know it all. Okay. All right. Clearly. And y'all know what we mean. Don't be dense in these comments.
Okay. Mad dense. We gotta put mad disclaimers on
now. Because from my understanding, I think with like boob jobs, it's like, I don't know if things change, but I know like I seen someone on like some reality show say that it's like a plastic bag or something, filled with silicone, and then they just put it in there. Yeah, but like the silicone is contained in the bag. And I think what Angela was saying with the butt shots, it's just, she said it was loose silicone, like it's not contained in it. It's not a bag. It's not,
it can spread anywhere. Yes, she did say that. I see people making fun of her already, like, dang, she removed her piercing from her.
She been stopped wearing that though. Okay. People just talking just to talk.
They're mad. They're like, and now y'all love her. But I feel like a lot of us know that Jesus wants us to change. We hear about him. We hear about people getting deliverance, about people getting healed and being set free. We know that there's something calling us to do better, to not focus on the things of this world. We kind of have that feeling on the inside, and sometimes we ignore it. You ignore it, and then when you see someone doing it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's possible. And so I don't know about everybody else, but I'm happy. I know the angels in heaven are rejoicing. They won good sis Angela. Like, I don't know.
I love this for her.
I really do, because I feel like God can save anybody. And sometimes it's the people that we cast some people away. Like, even for me, it gave me like a heart check. Like, do not cast people away because they are not saved or because they have different views. And that's why I like this podcast, because to be honest, we're not perfect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're trying, I'm trying. We just come in here raw and transparent. But deep down in my heart, sometimes as a Christian, we could get judgmental, like, oh, my way is the best way, and I want everybody to believe what I believe, and if you don't believe what I believe, damnation in hell. Like, no, I am not God. I do have a standard for myself. I will always talk about Jesus, but everybody deserves a chance. You never know when God is gonna step in and change somebody's life.
And you can fall too.
Okay.
Like, you can fall at any point. Like, you could find yourself doing something real out of character, real out of line. So it's like, even if you are walking on a certain path, you are not like
perfect.
Yeah, you are not immune to doing some weird, twisted stuff.
Okay, period. Do you feel like people have you made a decision in your early 20s or like 18, because we're only 26, so it's like we're kind of like just hitting past the mid, But did you ever make a decision in your 20s that you're now coming, or after you got saved, or after you came to Jesus, he was like, I chill, or you made a decision and then the emotional intelligence hit and he was like, I really shouldn't have been doing that, or I should have never did that?
You know, the weirdest part is,
okay,
I feel like I've made more silly decisions as I've gotten older.
You think so?
Is that bad? I mean, it is what it is. But I feel like,
talk to me, friend. What silly decisions?
I feel like this is a little too I feel like I can't get too much into detail on the pod.
Okay.
But I feel like
can you get into one of them for the listeners and for me, because I want to know. I'm like, what decisions are you making, girl?
I don't think I can say on the pod.
You can't say.
I don't think I can say on the pod.
All right,
y'all mind y'all business.
We gotta talk off the air, friend.
This is for like a Patreon, because I feel like I was relatively mature for my age.
Okay,
like I feel like I didn't really go through like a wild and out 20s.
So do you feel like you did a reverse?
I wouldn't say a reverse.
Do you feel like...
I do think like a couple of the things that I've done in my like mid to older 20s is stuff that I probably could have done
at 21
before.
Okay.
But I think it just goes back to what I was saying about like no matter what path you're on, like you can make a little detour at any point. So don't be concerned, don't be alarmed.
Okay. Do we have to pray for you so that way you can get back to the path where you were? Because we don't ever want you to go into like a regression where we want you to
it's not
progress.
that bad. It is not that bad. Okay. You kind of know what I'm talking about already. It's not that bad.
All right, so I'll share.
Okay.
And maybe you might think of something if there is something. I remember I was a hot gal. I make some stupid decisions. So one is like being too free.
Okay.
So for example, I thought I was untouchable. Like if I'm in the streets, yeah, I'm smart, but I thought that I was like above getting hurt or injured or anything like that. So I remember one time I went to a club in Queens called Almazura, and for some reason I was the only person who secured rides in that group of friends. And so I remember the Uber. This is like stupid stuff that you do in your 20s.
What you mean by secured rides?
So I always look cute. You know what I'm saying? Not that they were not cute, but for some reason that just became my agenda. Guys, don't ask. It's stupid stuff that we do in our 20s, if that makes sense.
I'm confused.
All right, I'll explain and then you probably might get the picture. So we took a Uber to Amazura. The Uber driver was like, I like the girl in the yellow. I'm like, oh snap, he's talking to me.
Okay.
Mind you, he's like, where they come from? Like the people on the ox.
Middle Eastern.
Wow. Mad New York, like the ox. He was like Middle Eastern or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I like the girl in the yellow. So I'm like, all right, you gonna come pick us up after Madrid? This is an Uber. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm like, all right, take my number. I'm mad bold. And this is the boldness that you have in your 20s. Like, I'm untouchable. The guys love me. Listen, so now we're in Amazura. I'm like, yes, come pick us up. We're ready to go now. He came. We made him go through like the McDonald's drive-thru. This is an Uber driver. I'm saying like, we don't know this man. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, oh, I'm gonna get your number. I own a Crown's Fried Chicken spot in the hood. You could come swing by. I like you. Da 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 da. Obviously,
was it cute?
Listen, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't remember.
Okay. And
that's because the liquor is in you. You're just doing stupid stuff. Now,
Middle Eastern dudes be handsome. Okay. You don't think so?
Middle Eastern dudes. Somebody said they think you're handsome. Middle Eastern dudes, where you at? Call us up 855-333-3214.
Look, them Arab dudes, they be good looking sometimes.
You touched your shit like...
No, I just had a little itch.
Okay.
Leave me alone.
Sis said, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't let me guess you up. Okay, stop blushing and relax. Please relax.
I'm relaxed.
Please pipe it down. Okay, but look, that's like
maybe rich too. Let me stop.
My son had a Crown Fried Chicken. I could have been in the back making chicken. I don't know.
Generational wealth.
You get me.
Just saying for the generational wealth folks.
So bad. But you see, that's the stupid stuff that I did. But that's stuff I did a lot. You know what I mean? I could have got kidnapped. That's because I did that one. It was a random. I went again, and then it was these two random black guys. And I was with my friends, and they was like, we could drop y'all to Brooklyn. We went in two random cars. Like, y'all, that's how to not survive in your 20s. Like, you cannot
ways to die. Yo.
Okay. And I feel like it's the grace of God that kept me. Like, yes. I have so many more stories like that. But as much as I said I was an alcoholic and stuff, for some reason, I don't know if it was God, when I was outside, I could not drink. I was always the mother of the group. Like, hey, everybody, pipe it down. Mm-hmm. We need to be attentive. Hence why I was the one securing the ride. So I wasn't like that person. But I'm just saying, like, in your 20s, you make these decisions that could ultimately lead you to either be in some tumultuous situations, and some people don't make it out. Yeah. So to see that she made it out is like, glory to God. Yes. And I made it out too, because God snapped. I got into a nice relationship in my early 20s, so thank God. Because I would have been securing somebody. I'm like, hey, do you want to go to the club? We going?
I wasn't going to the club.
I know you wasn't going to go to the club with me. So thank God, right? Thank God we rekindled when we did, because I know we wasn't going to work
we could have been. We could have worked. I just wouldn't have been in the club with you. But that reminds me, I did that too one time. I hopped in a random man's car.
See,
that it just reminded me.
Okay, now
it was me and my friend Lynette. And it wasn't even like no club or situation like that. We literally just went grocery shopping. This was when we was on campus, dormant at CSI. It's Staten Island. You need a car to get around, so we had to go Uber to the grocery store one day. And so I'm just like, we don't want to Uber back. Broke college students.
It's always when you ain't got no money.
Always. Look, not having money will have you doing weird
crazy
stuff sometimes.
Okay.
I think we was like 21 at the time. So we seen some dudes in the parking lot, some like a group of black dudes in the parking lot, and they was trying to talk to us. Okay. So I'm like, all right, let me leverage this.
See, so it's always the brains.
I'm like, let me leverage this. I had the bright idea. I'm like, oh, which way y'all going? And they like, wherever y'all want us to go. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, we go to CSI. Like, can y'all take us? And they was like, yeah, come on. So mind you, I'm lying, because we didn't know it was a group at first. It was like two dudes that we could see.
Oh God.
Girl, we got in the car. It was mad dudes in the car.
Was your heart beating?
Heart beating. Oh. I'm like, yo, we got in the back. We like packed up like sausages. It's a dude in the passenger. It's two dudes in the back. Like, we are damn near lapped up. I'm like, yo, it's mad dudes. Like, so I'm texting her. Like, mind you, we're together next to each other. I'm like, yo, send a pin to somebody, because she had a friend on campus. So I'm like, yo, send a pin to this girl in case we don't make it back. Like, someone has our location. Gosh. So she sent the girl our location, and I'm just like, all right, we going along for the ride or whatever, making small talk in the car. It's like summertime. They talking about how they having some party later, and how they like, oh, y'all should
Were they
come.
like in y'all age group at least?
They was not. If we like was older? 21, they was a little bit older. Like they was probably like 25, 26. Okay. So they like, oh, come to the party later. So I'm just trying to make it back. So I'm going with it like, yeah, we gonna come. Here's my number. And girl, at one point,
oh no.
At one point, we driving, we in the car. All I see is dead end. Like a sign that says dead end.
Brother.
When I tell you my heart started racing, I'm like,
Oh, nah.
Mind you, when we got in the car, I'm playfully telling them, like, y'all better not kidnap us, but I'm dead ass. Like, don't kidnap us. So when we driving down the street and all I see is the dead end sign, I'm like, I was too scared to even say anything. Okay. But in my head, I'm like, where they going?
This is the dead end.
Yes. I'm like,
you're dead and this is the end.
Yo, because I'm like, to get back to CSI, it's like one straight ride. So I'm like, this is not the direction. So I'm paying attention. I'm like, we're not going the right way. But I kept my mouth shut. Stupid, right? I should have said something, but I kept my mouth shut. They did end up taking us back just fine. But in the moment, I'm like, yo, this could have went left.
It could have went awry. Like, things could have just been, it could have been your last day.
Could have been.
You know what I'm saying? You would have been on the truck back to somewhere, God knows where, for body parts.
Really?
You know how much your heart costs?
How much?
I don't know. It's expensive though. Like, and these are the things that we do in our 20s. So that decision felt right at first, because
like, we getting a ride.
We getting a ride.
But it's like, we could have died for over a $15 Uber. Just call a freaking
Uber. And so those are the decisions that you make. So now it's like, and what you said is important. Sometimes it's out of survival. Sometimes it's like, I'm making dumb decisions because nobody is behind me telling me what not to do.
But we know not to do that. We literally know not to do that.
You know what's different? I was watching this video. I think I sent it to you. They said like how they tell us, don't do drugs, don't do drugs, don't do drugs. We feel like a man is gonna come in a club, open up his jacket and be like, what you want? You want Xanax? You want? But literally how people end up doing drugs is like,
from friends,
your friends,
people close to you.
So
it's not a stranger offering you a bottle of prescription pills. Yeah.
So it's like, these things is like, your friends are around you. It's just on the spot.
Yeah.
So your brain doesn't even slow down to process what's happening.
That's true, because you trust this person,
right? So now it's you and your friend. You're like, I'm with my friend, I'm comfortable. But then you got yourself into an uncomfortable situation just by being comfortable with you and your friend. So I think that's how a lot of us get choked up in our 20s. So a lot of it is from survival. So I believe, bringing it back to Black, Angela, White, and even Alexis Scott, I think that sometimes you do stuff out of survival.
Yeah.
Sometimes you promote yourself, your body, because this is what's getting you attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? OnlyFans, a lot of people make good money from OnlyFans. There's a lot of people supporting. And so it's like, I'm making all this money. Like, I'm a key. Why? You know? But you have to value yourself and understand that there's better things that you can do.
Yeah. And I think something I heard Alexis Sky even say, she said that with this whole transformation, it's taking some getting used to, because she's like, I make less money now. She was like, my lifestyle is different now. She's like, I'm not living the way I've been used to living, because I'm not doing certain things. So, and I could only imagine, like, if you, the girl who went from being on private jets to new Birkin and, you know, Chanel bags, you go on this journey, you not on no rapper's jet. And I'm sure that takes a lot of getting used to. Discipline, because you could easily fall back into that.
Right, like dang, I need 10 G's. Let me go do this little promo at the club real quick. Because you know they're paying for you to look a certain way, show your boobs,
stand on the couch, twerking on the couch,
So it's like, now you can't do that. So, but I commend them for the delayed gratification. And so in your 20s, there's instant gratification where you do something and you instantly feel satisfied. So I want money, I'm going to be a dancer.
Yeah.
And that's instant money for my rent problems. Versus, I want money, let me figure out how to operate in this capitalistic society and work myself. Even though it sucks, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. But you figure out how to work with what you're given without sacrificing your body, or sacrificing your health, or sacrificing your mental space. You know what I mean?
But I also, like, now that you say that, I'm thinking about the people that do make that decision, and it's like it has to take some courage and bravery to even do that. Like,
okay,
but it is really, it all comes down to survival.
Okay,
like
we all trying to survive.
Some people don't have like the spirit and the strength to go through it like the harder way.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true. I know, like, I personally, I was never like, oh, I'm gonna get a bag from this person. I just didn't have it. Like, I'm telling y'all, I wanted to be that girl. Like, some people be like, why you ain't never get this person to do? I'm like, I don't want nobody. It was always pride and little stuff. Like, I don't want nobody saying nothing about me. I don't want nobody saying, oh yeah, you broke, give me back my bag. I was always like, I don't want to be that person because I had a lot of pride. But also, it's like, some people, they have to, because it only takes for you to do something one time, then do it the second time.
Yeah.
The first time hard, the second time hard, third time a little easier, fourth. So now you just get into a flow. But I do feel like as women, we do have a certain limit as to what we can take.
Yeah.
At a certain point, we're gonna want to get ourselves together. To me, you know, because it's like you get this revelation, like, I did all this, I'm still not happy.
I gotta do something
you
different.
Know? Yeah. And then you find yourself pushing yourself to the limit. You know what I'm saying? Doing stuff that you don't want to do, because going back to the girl with her throuple, you're doing stuff that you don't want to do because it's like, I gotta keep pushing the envelope. Yeah. So listen, what advice do you have for the girls out there? And do you feel like this could apply to guys in any way? Like, reinventing themselves?
Absolutely. You got the reinvented hood dude.
Okay. They turn motivational speakers. I like seeing that.
Yeah. Always.
I love when they come out of jail and they got a pocket.
They be up at the schools.
Okay.
Talking to the kids. Yeah.
I love seeing that stuff.
Yeah. So I think it applies to the men too.
Yeah.
You got the scammer turn
to Jesus.
I don't know.
I love when the hood dudes come to church. You never seen it, but it's so lit. They be coming to church. They be rapping. Yeah, it be so lit.
Okay.
I
told you,
they
my
be
church
like,
be old people.
I'm gonna make it. We gotta go to like one of them Brooklyn churches on the side where
the
Americans be. Okay. Them Americans be welcoming everybody, so it be lit. Okay.
But you know, also the crazy part, before we even get into like advice and stuff, I'm thinking about the people who are waiting for them to fall off. Like, there's a group of people who are like gonna be on it.
Okay.
If Alexis Sky shows her face in a club again,
I'm like, see, she ain't Christian.
It was fake. It was this. It was that. Like, there's like a group of people who are waiting to see them even backtrack a little bit, just to tear them up.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel bad for them in that, because they like, at this point, they gotta stay on that straight and narrow, or they will get eaten up. I mean, unless they.
But I think what helps them is if the Christians don't eat them up at the same time, because Christians, we have a problem. Like, we have a problem. Like, Christians really got to get it together. Like, we be picking and choosing, and we think. My thing with I love God, but I'm not gonna act like I'm the next thing to Jesus. And I feel like that's the problem.
Okay.
So if the people of the world attack you, it's like, yeah, they attack Jesus. We get it. We are expecting that. But when the Christians start tagging along, it's like hard to please them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their little doctrines here and there. But it is a group of people waiting for you to backslide and not care about God anymore. We just have to keep them in prayer, honestly.
Yeah. I seen some people who was like, I just saw a picture of Alexis Sky in a bikini, and it's like, damn, she can't go to the, like,
give her a minute and like, what,
give her a minute. You could be on your journey, you going to the beach, what you supposed to wear? A t-shirt and sweats, and like,
and let the Holy Spirit convict her. I remember, not to cut you off,
no, go ahead.
When I was like first getting saved, no, first of all, I love me a good, the Jamaicans call it bati rider. Okay. But it's what, or that's the shorts
I know
that cut
what you mean,
cross.
yeah.
Yeah, but bati riders. When I mean I love me them shorts, I was wearing them shorts. I was out here saved and all. Like, I love Jesus. Pop, pop, cheeks out. Let me tell you. But I remember one day I was in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing these shorts. When I mean something just felt wrong. But I was saved. I love God. But something felt wrong about the shorts. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take it off. Then I put on something else like a little longer and I felt fine. I took back off the new pants that I put back on the shorts, and I felt bad. And then I was like, all right, so see, maybe that's God telling me not to wear the shorts anymore. And I didn't wear shorts. And since then I haven't wore like them shorts, them scandalous shorts. My point is, I'm saved. I love God. I'm still wearing bati riders. Let the Holy Spirit convict us and do its individual work inside of us, and stop trying to play like you God. And that's the problem. Because I remember even when I was like going on this journey, I remember people taking me to Macy's, like, oh, because I had club dresses. That's all I had. They was like, oh no, you gotta wear longer stuff. Like, let me do my transition. Yeah. If I'm coming from the club and I'm coming in my club dress, this is all I had. I'm trying to meet Jesus. Yeah. You focus on what you doing and let me focus on what God is doing in me. So a lot of convictions people cast they cast their convictions on you when it's like, no, let the Holy Spirit do that. Yeah,
everybody got their own journey.
They only got their own time. Like, so if the girl is wearing a bikini, pray for her and say, I hope she's safe on the beach. And stop trying to be so nasty and negative. I'm tired of these people sometimes.
Like, and with the shape she has, y'all gonna come at her about anything she put on.
Okay, like, she could put on tights. She could be working out. Oh, stop. And let her change. Yeah. You know, I be passionate about it because I want the girlies to come to Christ, and the men too. Come. He let's take this moment to invite you to Jesus. Makaida's like
listen, I don't be in my Bible as much as I should. Okay. So
does this inspire you in any way? Be honest.
Not really. I love Jesus too, y'all. Don't get it wrong.
You need to put on a shirt. I love you. I'm just kidding.
I love Jesus, all right? But I think Charlene is in a different I think we just had a different journey.
I had
so
a different journey.
Level of passion.
Yes. And I grew up in church. We gotta take that into consideration.
I mean, I was in church probably not as much as you. Because your parents was in church.
Yeah. And you shouldn't feel bad about your journey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't have to. It's just two different paths.
Yes. I don't feel bad about it.
Okay. We go.
Cause I understand I have my own thing with God.
Okay.
And that's okay. So yeah, I don't feel bad about my journey. You know, I'll get to a different place in time. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with where I'm at anyway. Like, okay. I think everyone just has their own space with God.
I love where you're at. Let me say this. I think, do they consider me safe? Some people don't consider me safe based on stuff that I say out my mouth, because I'm like not putting Bible verses on my.
But you don't have to.
But some people be thinking like that. You know what I'm saying?
You do that if you want to do that. Like, maybe that's the purpose God has for you. Like, everybody don't gotta do that. Like, people do it in their own way.
Yeah, they do it in their own way, and that's why I try not to judge based off where I am, even where you are, where other people around me are, because everybody has their own journey. One thing I will say to you though, Makaida, is that I will invite you to church, and you will come.
We said we was gonna go.
Yeah, when my foot gets better, obviously. Like, I'm not one to shy away from bringing anybody I know to church. Like, come experience this, because when you're in a place with great music, you're emotional, but I don't know if you're as emotional as me. Will you be crying to music?
I know you be crying to music.
Do you cry to music?
Not really. I don't think I've cried to a song. Not that I can remember. I'm sure I have, but I can't remember.
Okay. I'm more emotional, so I be in there like, oh, the drums are playing. I get a little goosebumps. I feel the song. I'm like, God, you've been so good to me. But don't be startled if you see me crying.
You be crying for everything, so I know.
Yeah, just hug me in church, and you see me like, just tap me and hug me. But I will invite you to church always, because I want everybody to experience just worshiping together with the believers. So I don't shy away from that.
Okay.
But I love where you are. I like you, the fact that you can even acknowledge that you're saved and you love Jesus. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And certain things you just won't compromise on because you love him. And you're working through it.
Yeah.
You're smart. Oh my God. Do you Makeda, you are saying so much without saying any. Like, you're not saying anything, but you're saying everything. Okay.
I'm just taking in what you're saying.
You're taking what I'm saying.
I'm accepting what you are saying.
Okay. And I'm not casting my convictions on you.
No.
Okay, good. So we're going to wrap it up right now. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to change or has a desire to change, or they're feeling a little reticent?
I think it can be hard to change, especially when the people around you are, maybe they're not looking to change. So I think it does take a lot of courage and bravery to even start to transform and leave some things in the past. So I think my advice would be to give yourself grace.
Oh yes.
Be kind to yourself. Like, when you are going through a whole transformation, it takes time.
Okay.
Like, you're not just gonna, and for some people you do just wake up one day and be like, I'm going cold turkey on this and that. And for other people it's not like that.
Right.
So I think the biggest thing I would say for people is to give yourself grace, be gentle with yourself. When you backpedal and you fall off your path, be kind. Like, forgive yourself, because it's gonna happen. Like, people relapse into things. The last episode we were talking about addictions. I think this kind of even goes hand in hand with this, because you have habits, especially when you're doing like living a certain lifestyle. You have different habits, and it's hard to break habits. Like, what do they say? A habit is formed in 30 days, and like, I think a routine is formed in like 90 or whatever it is. The point is that you just have to give yourself time, be gentle, be kind with yourself, because if you're not, who's gonna be the internet is brutal, the world is brutal, your friends, your family, they gonna be looking at you like, yeah, see, we told you that. There's gonna be people who don't want you to move on, because sometimes changing means you got to leave some people in the past.
That's where I was gonna go with it. Like, to the girls who think that this transformation journey is gonna be easy, because we got to think about it. Black Angela White is posting pictures of her journey, but we don't really see the inner work that's being done. The night she cried, the conversation she had with her family, her friends, about where she's trying to go in life,
the friends she gotta leave behind.
Like,
people she probably genuinely got mad love for, who she can't even like associate with the same way.
Right. You can't, because they might pull you back into a lifestyle that you are trying to leave behind. So I think the main thing is, sometimes even your family members, because we don't want to think that far, but sometimes transformation is, when it starts in your mind, it's going to show on the outside, and then you have people that start to be like, oh, you think you better than us now? It's kind of like the concept where you're in the hood and you leave the hood, and they like, oh, you think you better than us because you don't live in the hood no more. It's like, no, I'm actually trying to get out of this space and this mindset
it's just not safe for me here.
Of struggle, or because I remember somebody told me, like, in order for you to grow, like, this is the best advice I got, and it was actually at my old church with the drama. But somebody came up to me, and this was in my season of transformation, and they said, in order for you to grow, you have to leave your environment. That's when it hit me, like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here first. And I gotta get out of my house. I got to go. I'm like taking steps. I gotta get out of here, because it's not working out for me. And the most transformation that I had was in the years from that lady said that till now. Like, my life has not been stagnant. Like, I've always been moving, and even if I fall, I get back up. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep going.
I love that for you, friend.
Thank you so much. And I love that for you because you're progressing, right?
Yeah.
We're not.
I mean,
me and Makeda, we're gonna have a talk after this in the car on the way home. Because we gotta figure out what's really going on, girl. Okay, but thank you guys for tuning in.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yes, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and let us know, like, how do you feel about Blac Chyna's
Angela
White's journey? Alexis Sky, all the girlies are going Christian now.
And share your experiences. And even if it's not like religious, but even if you've made some life changes, switch things up the way that you do things, let us know. We want to know. Be kind. This is like a nice episode about people growing and developing in life. So
leave the nasty comments in your brain where they belong and release them there. Amen. Okay. And if you need Jesus in your life, he's available. So we're extending that offer to you today. You can just invite him in your heart. Say, Jesus, come into my heart. I accept you as my Lord and Savior. Transform me and make me new. Amen. Congratulations on your new journey. Bye. We love you. And God said in Matthew chapter 5, verse 22.
Yo, you ain't playing this episode. You better leave that in too.
What?
That.
And the Lord said,